My name's Jonathan Adnams, and I'm the fourth generation of the Adnams family to have been brewing here in Southwold, and as from 2010 we've also become distillers. Now you may well ask, why is Adnams, a brewer of renown, gone into distilling a spirit? Well, from a technical point of view, distilling spirits is really just one process on from having fermented a beer.
The distillation process actually starts in the brew house. The brew house team produces a wash, which is basically a beer with no hops in it. That wash then makes its way into the fermentation room, where it ferments as we would ferment a normal beer. After about a week, it's then ready to be processed here in the distillery. So it pumps all the way under the brewery and over here to the distillery, where it then makes its way into the beer stripping column. And a beer stripping column strips out all the alcohols, not just ethanol, vodka quality alcohol, but all the other types of alcohols as well, methanol, propanol, lots of different things. And then that goes on to a batch process where we put the low wines, which is the product of the beer stripping column, into the pot still, dilute it with water to about 50%, and then we use the pot still in conjunction with rectifying columns to separate out all the alcohols. So then we've made our vodka. We also produce gin. Gin is made with our vodka, so we take our vodka, place it into the pot, dilute it with water to 50% and add botanicals. We use the London dry method, where the botanicals are added to the pot, the real botanicals, real juniper berries, real cassia, real coriander, real cardamom. They soak overnight in the vodka, and then when we come in the next day, we turn the pot on, turn the steam jacket on and heat it up and re-distill the contents of the pot. We also produce whiskey. We take the low wine, which was the product of the beer stripping column, put that into the still, dilute it with water again to about 45% this time, and distill that again. But this time we don't want to remove all of the heads and all of the tails. We remove portions of those. We don't use the rectifying columns. We distill it to about 90%, 89-90%. So some of those cogeners, that we call them, are kept in with the ethanol, and they help to flavour it. So those not very nice flavours, when they're put in a cask for 3 years, will develop into other flavours, nice whiskey-ish flavours. Our first liqueur was limoncello, which we produced through the summer. It's made with lemon zest, sugar and vodka, which goes into a tank, and they macerate, they soak for about 2 weeks, after which time we then filter out all the lemon zest to give a slightly cloudy, which it should be, really lemony, zesty, not overly sweet limoncello. We're also doing a slow gin, which again is not as sweet as a traditional slow gin, and we also have a slight almond flavour in there. And a third liqueur we're making is a winter spice liqueur, which is flavoured with pimento berries and vanilla pods.
I was watching in the world, and particularly in the States, the growth of micro-distilling, and this is really showing the phenomenon of distillers going back to the old style of distillation, using small copper stills and making very bespoke spirits. Well, the great thing is we're making very high quality spirits here. You can taste the difference, as they say. Our customers are loving it, and we are delighted that in the first 6 months of operation we have now won 6 medals for quality of our spirits on the world stage.